On this Saturday morning, we're at the beautiful and world-renowned Fort DeSoto Park, where you always see a lot of walkers enjoying themselves. But on this Saturday morning, there's a whole lot of walkers here because they're here to support Julie Weintraub's Hands Across the Bay Walk for Hope and Help event. Here's my story. For the second year in a row, walkers from all over the Bay Area lent their support to raising money and awareness for suicide prevention. Despite the cold morning temperatures, hundreds showed up for this important cause.
It's not a popular thing to talk about, but we want to talk about it and encourage people, if they know someone that's struggling, to access all the resources there are. They're all here today, the Crisis Center, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, to encourage people for themselves or their loved ones to seek help, because you don't want to have a permanent solution to a temporary problem, is what we say. So we just want to get everybody together today in memory of people who have lost loved ones, so they can have an outlet for that, to talk about it, and also help save some lives. I hope people being here, either the people that are here or maybe some of their loved ones, I like to think that if we save a couple lives out of today, it'll be a huge success for us.
Me and Julie, we love helping people. That's just what we do. We consider it an honor and a privilege. And to see all these people out here, the more every year, tells everyone what a big problem this is. And the problem is more of an awareness problem than anything else.
Fittingly, the Sunshine Skyway Bridge provided the backdrop as area organizations displayed quilts and booths to raise awareness. These organizations included the Suncoast Yellow Ribbon, You Are Valued, the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay, the Florida Suicide Prevention Coalition, the Wounded Warrior Project, and Hands Across the Bay. The major sponsors of today's event were the Tampa Bay Rays and the Golden Diamond Source. Volunteers were on hand to help with signing everyone up, handing out t-shirts, and selling raffle tickets.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm hawking raffle tickets today. I'm talking on stage. Anything you can do to help a cause like this, you have to do. Because when you think about all the kids out there who are going through tough times and they think, well, I have no way out, your heart just reaches out to them. You see all the families here who have lost loved ones. And how can you not want to do something to help them out? It's so important.
Clocking in a little under a mile, the walkers began their trek through scenic Fort DeSoto Park behind a police motorcycle escort. After a brief stop for a photo opportunity, the group returned where speakers were on hand to share their personal experiences on why today's event was so important. Donna Witzel was the first speaker, and she gave a tearful and emotional talk on the tragedy of how her daughter Hope committed suicide back in 2009 because of the trauma of school bullying. Her message to the audience was to speak out and take action.
She was tormented, she was threatened, she was spit on, she was shoved into lockers. I'm here to get the message out.
I think the work is really important to reduce stigma with suicide, and to get out the word that there is help for survivors, those of us who've lost someone to suicide, and also support to those who may be in fear of taking their own life.
Wake of destruction that is left behind is it really is something that you can't fathom unless you've experienced it, and it's touched an extended member of my family, and it's a terrible tragedy that seems to be happening all too often.
We have to educate the public on what they can do on their part to prevent these sorts of things from happening, and we do care about our law enforcement officers and our first responders who are responding to these calls every single day. Events like this, huge importance.
We know that there's a great deal of concern in the community, but even more education needs to be done about suicide prevention in our youth, as well as with our law enforcement officers.
My husband is a retired police officer who suffers with post-traumatic stress disorder. In my research, I found out that there is a massive problem within law enforcement and for first responders, and that suicide is happening in epidemic proportion.
It's very important in law enforcement because we have so many officers that, we're the pillar of strength, so we don't reach out for assistance. And I think this event is necessary to bring that awareness and let people know that there is help, there's alternatives out there to suicide.
We're seeing a rise in suicides, and so it's one of those things, we can raise the awareness now. Let's not let it become an epidemic of any kind or anything like that. Let's see what we can do now.
One special guest even traveled all the way from New York to lend his support to the cause.
We're here again, planting our flag with Hands Across the Bay to help what meditation does do for the inner soul.
To replenish all the lost nutrients from the walk, Caraba's Italian Grill was on hand with free food for everyone that participated.
You know what, Caraba is just the foundation. Is all about family and community. So it's one of the things that we really, pride ourselves in. Being part of the community, giving where we can.
Former American Idol finalist Jay Rosenberg supported the cause, something near and dear to his heart, with a special song.
I actually lost my grandfather to suicide in 2004, and then about a year and a half later, one of my great friends committed suicide as well. So I was totally excited when Julie asked me to take part in such a worthy cause, and there's just an overpouring of community support, which is great to see.
There was even a keynote presentation from motivational speaker Ricky Roberts, who had a special personal message for everyone.
There was no other choice but to be a part of it. It's such a great cause and such a need for our community to realize the severity of suicide and, more importantly, how we can be a part of preventing it.
Thanks so much for all of Tampa Bay to come out here and support this great cause. We can't thank everybody enough what they do, and all the volunteers and people have come up to us and thanked us for having this event. And thank you, Tampa Bay. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys all so much for coming out to the 2012 Walk for Hope for Help. We appreciate rain or shine, you guys coming out, and God's blessed us with another beautiful day. So thank you so much for your support.
You know, today was all about people coming together to help raise awareness and help save lives. Yes, that's what Julie Weintraub's Hands Across the Bay charity tries to make happen every day here in the Tampa Bay community. From Fort DeSoto Park, for Good Life Tampa Bay, I'm H. John Mejia. So be sure to support Hands Across the Bay by checking out their website at handsacrossthebay.org. That's handsacrossthebay.org.